Hi everyone.
Hi.
Jeff and Sarah here again. So today we are at arguably one of our favourite venues. I know we shouldn't necessarily have favourites, but if we did, you know what I'm talking about. This is one of the most unique places you could ever get married.
It's a venue like no other.
Do you know, sometimes we look at venues and we say they're stunning and they're amazing. We've literally would run out of superlatives for this one. Superlatives, you know what I mean. It's
You'll be hearing lots of stunning, amazing, wow,
fabulous.
Fabulous greats from me.
All of those. So we are at Port Lympne Hotel and Reserve. And there really is nowhere like it to get married. It's got something for everyone, a really, really special place. So we will kick off this tour. As per usual, Sarah will be doing the running commentary. And all I can say, guys, is just enjoy this one. And if you are here watching this, thank you so much. We do really, really appreciate you taking the time to watch our videos. We hope we're hitting the right notes. If you've got any comments about anything, please leave them in the comments below. And yeah, let's do this, eh?
Before we start the tour, shall we, well, as always, we'll put the map up so you know exactly where we are.
Yes.
And the reason it is so unique is because it's not just a wedding venue that sits in its own piece of ground, like often a lot of them do, but Port Lympne Hotel and Reserve, as the name suggests, is in the middle of a wildlife park. So you've got that whole added element of the wildlife to this venue, which is what makes it so unique. And we'll talk about that as we go around the tour and the different elements and where different things of that can come into your wedding day.
See, I wasn't going to give any of that away. I was going to build up the surprise, and then you just see all this open out in front of you. But Sarah's jumped straight in there.
We had to set the scene.
Anyway, guys, let's kick this tour off without any further ado.
So welcome back to anyone that's been here before. So as Jeff just said in our intro, here we are at the fantastic Port Lympne Hotel and Reserve. As Jeff hinted at, we love this venue. We've got so much to show you, from indoor spaces, amazing outdoor spaces, what you can actually do on your wedding day to involve the animals. So yeah, there's lots to tell you. Starting off here, a lot of your wedding's going to be centralised around the mansion and the grounds around the mansion. So that's what we're going to show you predominantly today. So here we are outside the mansion itself. We're going to take a little wander inside, show you the room where you get ready, and then the ceremony rooms. There's choices for 2 ceremony rooms and also outside ceremony space as well, which will show you all 3 of those. As always, we'll intersperse with photos of weddings we've shot here so you can really see what it looks like on a wedding day. So, no further ado, we'll head inside the mansion and show you where the bridal rooms are. So head this way. So here we are at the front doors to the mansion, and these front doors are a lovely spot actually for photos, either couple photographs or even small group shots. I'm just going to pull one too so you can see the detail on these doors. They really are spectacular. So you can imagine when the 2 of those are closed, it gives a really nice backdrop to your photos. Come on inside and we'll show you a little bit more. So the hotel today is actually still open for people to dine here that are staying at the park. So you may see people poke in and out of our video at different times. But yeah, you just bear in mind that it is actually in a working place today. So in the mansion, just check out this floor. Really great for photos along this floor. You get lovely reflections. So heading along the hallway, and we'll head up the stairs to show you where the hotel rooms are and where you can get ready. So heading upstairs now into the main bit of the hotel, and this is where you and some of your guests can stay, or see a room where you can get ready. And you'll see these stairs as you come up are really, really beautiful. Along the stairs here, you've got amazing shots that can be had of you as a couple, especially actually when you're coming down to your ceremony with whoever's going to give you away. As you walk down the stairs, that's a really beautiful photograph. So yeah, we love here all the detail around the place. So you see here the handrails and balustrades are really pretty. You've got this beautiful almost Art Deco style light, which is really nice. And all these things add to your photos. So yeah, it's really kind of nice spot for having photos and just appreciating the surroundings around you. When you come up here onto the landing, you've got this beautiful big space, and you can see this is where all the hotel rooms come off of. But again, it's a nice spot for pictures of you and your bridesmaids to have before your ceremony. So we'll head on now we're going to show you 2 rooms today where you could get ready, and we'll head on to the first of them now. So the first room we're going to show you is the Philip Sassoon room. This is traditionally the bridal suite. So I'll let Jeff go in first. And we'll show you some nice photos of how it can look in here with your dress hanging up. Also there's a lovely 4-poster bed where you can have pictures of you once you're all ready. So yeah, it makes a really nice spot for you to get ready in the morning with your bridesmaids, and also have some lovely bridal portraits as well. What's lovely about the bridal suite as well is you get this lovely dressing room, so a nice spot to hang your dress and for you to get changed in. And also, as we've said in a few other videos as well, it's a nice spot to keep all your bags and belongings out the way, so when you're having photos with a beautiful 4-poster bed, there's no bags in the picture. So top photographer tip, keep your bags in a separate place, they're hidden from your main photographs. So the second room we're going to show you today is the Lloyd George room, and as you can see it's a really big spacious room again. Haven't got the 4-poster bed as you did have in the first room we showed you, but what you do have here is absolutely amazing views all the way out to the sea, and we've mentioned it in one video before of a venue that's only just down the road, but you can see all the way to France on a clear day from this window. So yeah, nice, beautiful, nice view, and as you can see, this would be another really nice room for you to get ready in and also to spend your wedding night. One of the really lovely things around here is wherever you go, there's artwork that hints to the wildlife theme of the venue, which obviously being in a wildlife park and reserve is kind of key, but yeah, there's beautiful pieces of art, paintings all around. So I mentioned that this room has an amazing view all the way out across the countryside, across the sea, all the way to France. And this is the toilet with that view. Sitting from here, you'd be able to see all the way across and see that view from here. So yeah, this really is a toilet with a view. So we're back out in the corridor now, and imagine you're totally ceremony ready, time to get a few portraits before you go down to your ceremony, and this door makes a really lovely spot for bridal portraits. I was going to say imagine bride standing here, dress flowing out, but why don't we just put a picture here and show you what it would look like, because that's far better than me trying to describe it. But you can see it's a lovely spot for a bridal portrait. So now we'll head down to show you the different ceremony spaces that will be available to you. So coming down the stairs, imagine you're walking with whoever's going to give you away. You've got your bridesmaids before, behind you. Like I said earlier, these stairs make some lovely shots of whoever you're with coming down to your ceremony. So the ceremony spots, we've got a few to choose from. So first of all, we're going to head outside and show you the Moroccan courtyard, which I've got to say is one of my favourite spots. It is so, so pretty. And they've done an absolutely amazing job here of creating this space. All of the furniture and the lanterns and different paraphernalia that you see here has all been imported from Morocco, so it's all authentic, and it just looks absolutely amazing. So you can imagine if your numbers were quite small and you're having a more intimate wedding, this would be a really lovely space for a small intimate ceremony. Also, it's a really lovely space where you can have a drinks reception after. Even if you hadn't had your ceremony out here, you could still have this as an option for a drinks reception. And of course, it's fantastic for couple photographs. We often like to bring our couples in here later in the day when the light's a little bit softer and get some really beautiful photos in here. So yeah, it is such a lovely space. And aside from the weddings, they actually do some really awesome afternoon teas here, and you can have afternoon tea out here in the Moroccan courtyard, and it really is a special experience. So just add that bonus point in for you as well. So I've made myself comfortable here, as you can see, and this is a little snug at the back of the Moroccan courtyard. A really nice area where the two of you can come and spend some time. Again, everything in here has been sourced directly from Morocco, so it's all really authentic, and it's a really lovely space. You actually could Moroccan music is playing gently in the background, and you could actually feel like you've been transported back to Morocco. So yeah, it's a really nice little added extra, a nice surprise, because you don't expect to find this sort of thing when you come here in the middle of Kent, but it's really beautiful. So when you come out of the Moroccan courtyard, you're back down onto the stairs, and now we're going to show you your second option for a ceremony, indoor ceremony in the Spencer Roberts room. And this room has to be seen to be believed. It is pretty special. So just head a short little way this way, and yeah, we'll show you the Spencer Roberts room. Again, look at these big amazing doors to get in there. So you really have that amazing entrance. I'll open the door for Jeff to go first. And how amazing is the paintwork in here? It truly, truly is stunning. So you've got scenes here from the tigers in India, you've got herons, you've got monkeys and gibbons. It's just, there is literally a whole world of wildlife out there, like literally a whole world. And yeah, it really is amazing paintings, and you could spend time in here just taking it all in, but imagine your ceremony in here. So this beautiful paintwork in here was done by Arthur Spencer Roberts, and he was a specialist in exotic wildlife paintings, and you can see his work in here is absolutely stunning, and yeah, it really deserves the time to sit and enjoy it, as your guests can, as you're getting married. So back to your wedding ceremony, you would have obviously come in through these doors behind me, and imagine your chairs laid out on either side as you walk down the aisle here. And then you're going to come to the front with this beautiful window light falling on you, and that's where you're going to exchange your vows. And you can't see at the moment because behind Jeff is that beautiful view that we spoke about in the upstairs rooms as well. So as you stand here and exchange your vows, you have the backdrop of this beautiful, beautiful view for all your guests to see you and the view behind you. So yeah, between the view and the paintings, you're spoilt for choice of amazing backdrops. So at the end of your ceremony, obviously you would turn back round, walk back down the aisle and exit back out the doors behind me. However, we're not going to do that right now because there is another ceremony option for you down here. If your numbers are possibly slightly bigger, there's a ceremony option in the room next door, which is also called the long room. But before we leave here as well, I also want to let you know that this room can also be used for a sit-down meal for smaller numbers, even have your evening dancing in here, again with smaller numbers. We'll drop a few photos onto the screen throughout this so you can see different room setups for different times of the day, so you can appreciate how you can use the space. But I suppose the long and short of it is that you've got so many options here to utilise different rooms and different areas in different ways. So coming into the long room, you'll see it is totally different from the Spencer Roberts room that we've just left, where that's quite atmospheric with all the wildlife paintings. This is really bright, light and airy. You've got a lot of window light coming in. Obviously it's painted lighter. So there's options for everybody depending on what you like, but you've still got the wildlife portraits and paintings around the walls. So it still gives that hint to where you are. Again, this looks really, really lovely with chairs laid out. More often than not, the aisle would be down here with the chairs coming out on either side, and you would have your registrar's table up in front of the fireplace, and that's where you'd exchange your vows. But I say, speak to the venue team here because no doubt that they might have other options of ways you can have the room set out, but that is kind of a classic way and it works really well with bigger numbers. And this room also looks fantastic set out for your evening meal. You can have round tables in here and it's a really nice space to have your evening meal. So yeah, lots of options of ways you can use the space here. So after your ceremony, you've got 3 ways of exiting this room. Obviously, if you've got lots of chairs, you'll exit straight behind and walk straight back down your aisle. But you can also exit straight outside, which takes you out onto the terrace, which is a beautiful spot for your drinks reception. Or you can exit back out into the corridor, which we're going to do in a second, and we'll show you what's out there. And then you can walk back round and exit to the terrace at the back. You've got so much outdoor space here. We can't wait to show you that as well. But before I get too ahead of myself, we'll head out here and show you what's out here as well. So heading outside back into the corridor, you'll see this beautiful grand piano that's in the hallway. And it's really nice if you have a pianist on your wedding day to sit and tinkle the ivories pre-ceremony and after your ceremony during your drinks reception. It just fills this whole space with music and it's just really nice and makes it atmospheric. So from the hallway, just next to the grand piano, we've got still another ceremony option for you. So heading out the end of this hallway, it takes you onto the iceberg terrace, which is a great option for outdoor ceremony. We're not going to be able to show you it properly today because we're filming this in April when the COVID rules state that only outside eating can take place. So the iceberg terrace has been turned into a little bit of an outside dining area, so you won't be able to picture what it looked like on your wedding day, but instead we'll drop lots of lovely pictures on there so you can really appreciate what it looks like. But that just gives you the idea of actually where it's situated in conjunction to the rest of the venue. So here we are now on the opposite side of the iceberg terrace, and this is the way you would come as a bride to enter your ceremony. You'd come around, we'll show you the other side in a second, but you'd come around and this would be your aisle here. So once we put the photos up, you'll kind of get a better idea. So we're going to show you some of the outside space now. You might be thinking we've shown you all the inside space, but we haven't shown you where you'd have your evening reception if you have bigger numbers, but we'll get to that at the end of the tour. But we want to show you the outside space first of all, because it really is spectacular. Starting, and when I say spectacular, starting with these spectacular Trojan steps. How about that for a set of stairs? And yes, on your wedding day, we do get our couples climbing the steps, but trust me, it is well worth it when you get to the top for the view. We take our time, get some nice pictures on the way up, on the way down. But yeah, we'll head up there now so you can appreciate what it looks like from the top. And we'll also show you two real highlight accommodations that are up there. We won't actually show you inside, but we'll tell you a little bit more about what's up there when we get to the top. So we'll head on up now. I'm not going to talk on the way up, otherwise you'll hear me puffing and panting. Well, we got there quick, didn't we, Jeff? So, puffing and panting over. This is a really lovely spot to have photos of the two of you looking out, taking in that fantastic view. And it really is a stunning view, isn't it? And imagine it on a nice, bright, sunny day. You can see, I say, all the way out to sea. And the video isn't going to put this up, but I can actually hear the lions roaring right now. They're kind of like a really low roar. So we're just going to head up here, and we haven't shown you any of the animals yet, or kind of given you a glimpse of the wildlife park side of things. And you probably on your wedding day, could you hear that? On your wedding day wouldn't have time for this, but if you're staying over the day after, can be fantastic. So up here you have two of the accommodations. You have Lion Lodge and also Tiger Lodge, both of which, as the names suggest, back onto the different lion and tiger enclosures. So if you're lucky enough to stay there, you really do have an amazing view. We're going to keep filming, and I'm going to shut up so you can hear what we can hear now. So while I've just touched a little bit on the accommodation there, there is so much accommodation here, and there's so much choice, from safari lodges to shepherd's huts to tree houses. The list goes on, and as the name suggested, these two, Lion and Tiger Lodge, that back right onto those enclosures of those animals, there's different options around the park that are next to other enclosures. So Bear Lodge, for instance, safari tents that look out over the bear enclosure, so you get a great view of the bears there. So have a look at the website, because there is far too much for me to tell you about, and really doing it justice, you've got to see the photos on the website. So yeah, do check that out. But it just means there's plenty of options for your guests to stay the night of your wedding. They can all choose their own accommodation and stay where they like, and then the day after your wedding you can all enjoy the park. And while we're talking about enjoying the park, something you get here on your wedding day, or you can have the option of, is a safari for you and your guests. Not many weddings offer that. So after your wedding breakfast, you can all head on out on safari vans and go for a little safari, see the animals. A lot of guests decide to keep it a secret from their guests, so maybe you don't want to show all of your guests this video to show them your venue before, save it for the day. But yeah, it's a really nice added touch that you can add onto your wedding day. And as we walk round, I'll point out different views that I can of out over different animal enclosures as we kind of walk past. So yeah, there's so much to do on a wedding day here. So back down now at the bottom of the Trojan steps, and as you can imagine, these make a fantastic spot for your group shots. Everybody can be staggered up, so your big group photograph of everybody. This is a great spot. And actually this is a venue where there's lots of good places, depending on where the sun is, to have your big group spot. There's more steps that you'll see around the other side. And also, remember the balcony we were up on earlier and where I said it was a great spot for bridal portraits? Us as photographers can look out of that window and take a shot down onto the iceberg terrace, which can also be another good option for a group shot. So yeah, plenty of options here. So leaving the Trojan steps, we're going to head now in the opposite direction to the mansion, down Lympne Avenue, which we think is a really pretty spot for photos of the two of you as a couple. So we'll head down there now. And you can see as we come along here now, it's late April and you can see all the bluebells are out, and how pretty does that look? So again, similar to other venues where foliage changes throughout the season, even now without leaves on the trees, it's really pretty with those bluebells all the way through. And you can just imagine what it looks like when the canopy is filled with leaves as the leaves come into bloom on the trees. It creates a really lovely spot for couple shots all the way down here. We'll just take a little bit of a wander in amongst the trees, just so you can really appreciate it. So just to give you your bearings again, we're just at the end of Lympne Avenue. Looking back in that direction is the iceberg terrace. And if you remember me saying that as you arrive at your ceremony, the bride would walk this way around the edge of the pond and into the iceberg terrace straight up the aisle. So we'll retrace the steps kind of backwards now and show you the way that the bride would come. And you walk in amongst these hedges so nobody can see you making your approach. And aside from being the way to get into your ceremony, you'll see that the terrace gardens open up in front of you. And again, you'll see how much scope there is for photographs. You've got terrace gardens on either side. You've got this beautiful walkway down to the gate that takes you down further into the park where all the animals are. But heading around to the side of that, and you can see we've now come down onto the lower terrace. So this is the way you would walk around. So you kind of walk around the edge of the mansion to bring yourself back up at the iceberg terrace. I think the thing with this venue is there's more beautiful places to go and see than there is hours in the day. So you kind of pick your favourite spots, and we know some really nice spots that would work really well for photographs as well. So on your wedding day, it's worth kind of having an idea of places that you definitely want photos of, because you can't possibly get everywhere. It's so vast and there's so much choice. But this is a really lovely spot actually down here, but we'll show you some pictures shooting back in the opposite direction. And as you can see now, this brings you down to the big koi carp fish pond. Spit my words out. And again, this is a lovely place that you will have your drinks reception. So this is actually one of our favourite spots to photograph. Imagine bride and groom on the little balcony, real Juliet's balcony, taking in the whole of the building. And in, I think, June, July, this is in beautiful flower. Actually, it might have been late May, early June, but at one time of the year, this is in beautiful white flower and looks stunning. So yeah, really nice spot for couple photographs. So you can see now we've come up onto the upper terrace, which again is a really nice spot for you to have your drinks reception. The doors that you see in the centre there, if you remember when we were in the long room, I said you could exit straight onto the terrace, they're the doors straight into the long room. So you can kind of get your bearings a little bit that way, but yeah, it's a really nice terrace for you to have your drinks. Another really nice spot on the terrace is on these steps here, and this is actually the door that goes through to the Spencer Roberts room. Remember the painted room? That's in there, so again getting your bearings, but yeah, this is a really lovely spot for nice couple photographs as well. Lots of photo opportunities all around here. So we're going to head now back round to the front of the venue, and you'll see that we've kind of done like a whole circumnavigation of the mansion. So again, the gardeners here do a fantastic job of replanting the flower beds. This one is a work in progress at the moment. I see they've just recently dug it over for new flowers, but you've got the colour from the pots all the way throughout the year. So again, it adds that splash of colour to your photographs. So everywhere you look, again, there's photo opportunities. So leaving the terrace now, you can see we're back round into the front of the mansion. And we're going to have a wander around here because there's one thing we haven't shown you or haven't really spoken about, and it's where you'd have your evening reception if you had quite big numbers. We showed you the inside rooms, which are great for smaller numbers, but if you've got a big large wedding and you need a bit more space, you've got the garden room, which is going to be a lovely space for you to have your sit down meal and then your evening party. So we can't actually get in there today, but as ever, we've got photographs we can show you, but obviously we're going to show you where it is, so you kind of, again, have your bearings of where you'd go for your evening sit-down meal and dancing. So there's two entrances. This is probably where you might come as a bride and groom when you're being announced. in through the little door, and it looks lovely in there, and you'll see from the photos. And there's also a main door around the other side which takes you to the bar area as well. Beautifully stocked bar, which obviously every venue needs. So yeah, you'll see that coming around here. And you'll see from actually this angle, you'll see it's got nice high pitch glass windows, and as the name suggests, the garden room is really bright and airy in there with these big apex roofs. So yeah, it looks really, really lovely. So just out the front of the garden room now, we just wanted to show you this actually while we were here. So a lot of the accommodation here comes with its own buggy. So you can stay here for the night, and then for that time you get the use of a buggy, so you can transport yourself around the park to different restaurants that are further down and different animal enclosures. So yeah, it's really quite cool to have your own buggy. So we thought we'd show you that while we were here. And also, I mentioned earlier about the safari. So if you have decided to do a safari on your wedding day, after your meal, while they turn the room around for your evening dancing, this is where all your guests would come out here and board the safari trucks for you to go out on safari. So on safari you can see giraffes, wildebeest, zebra, untold animals, but yeah, it really is a good experience for your guests, particularly actually if you've got smaller, younger guests in your audience as well. They will love that. So yeah, it's a really nice little touch. We come out on safari with you, get pictures of you looking at the animals, get pictures of the animals as well. So yeah, it's a really great experience to kind of top off your day before you come back and dance the night away. So back outside the mansion now, I think we've pretty much shown you as all of the indoor spaces, the spaces where you have ceremonies, and lots of the outdoor space. The outdoor space actually continues even further, and obviously you've got the whole wildlife park out there, but we can't show you all of that on this short tour. But hopefully we've shown you enough to entice you to want to come and visit yourself and really take it in yourself and really appreciate it. So also as well, there's exciting plans for 2022. For always here, they're always kind of improving, making things better. And on the wedding front, there's going to be big exciting plans coming, which we can't give you more information about now, but what we will do is as soon as there is more information and more to show you, we will come back and do another short tour so that you've got all the most up-to-date information and views, and so you see everything there. So as always, we hope you enjoyed it. We hope we hit all the spots and covered all the bits you wanted to see. If we didn't, please pop in the comments and we'll be sure to cover them when we come back next time. Please do subscribe, give that bell a like, give us a like, and give that bell a ring, and then we can make sure you see the next video. So yeah, thank you as ever for sticking around to the end, and we'll see you next time. Bye.